At my graduation dinner, everyone was laughing, until Grandma smiled at me and said, "I'm glad the 3,000 I send you each month is helping." I paused, looked around, and said, "Never got any money." Everyone slowly turned to look at my parents, who were dead silent. Grandma set her plate down, and then it began. Pret 2. I pushed it aside, determined to enjoy my celebration. Then Grandma Eleanor arrived, fashionably late as always, bringing her warmth and genuine enthusiasm that immediately lightened the atmosphere. "There's my brilliant granddaughter," she announced, making her way to the table, with a wrapped gift and a card in hand. "I'm sorry I'm late. Traffic was terrible coming down from Hartford." Everyone shifted to make room, and the waiter brought another chair. Grandma settled beside me, patting my hand affectionately. "I am so proud of you, Madison," she said, her eyes misting slightly. "For years of hard work while juggling all those jobs. You're remarkable." "Thanks, Grandma," I said, feeling the sting of tears myself. "It means a lot that you came." "I wouldn't miss it for the world," she replied, then glanced around the table. "This is quite the spread. Robert, Deanna, you've gone all out tonight." My parents exchanged a quick look I couldn't quite interpret. "Nothing but the best for our graduate," Dad said, raising his glass. As dinner progressed, I found myself relaxing for the first time in months. The weight of finals was behind me. My degree was in hand. Whatever struggles lay ahead, tonight I could breathe. If only I'd known how temporary that peace would be. The evening progressed pleasantly enough through the main course. Grandma Eleanor regaled everyone with stories of my childhood achievements. Science fair projects, soccer tournaments, and that time I organized a neighborhood cleanup at just 9 years old. I blushed at the attention but secretly treasured her pride in me. "A toast," Uncle Mark announced, raising his glass. "To Madison, the hardest, working, most determined member of this family, may your career be as successful as your academic journey." Everyone clinked glasses, and for a moment, I felt truly celebrated. Mom dabbed at her eyes dramatically. "Or first college graduate," she said. "We always knew you were special, honey." Dad nodded vigorously. "Worth every sacrifice we made." The waiter came to clear our plates and present dessert menus. My parents, unusually extravagant tonight, insisted everyone order something. The table fell into casual conversation about my post-graduation plans, Tyler's college experience, and Uncle Mark's recent business expansion. That's when it happened, the moment that would fracture my family forever. Grandma Eleanor turned to me during a woolen conversation, smiling warmly as she squeezed my hand. "Madison," she began, "I meant to ask, have you decided what you'll do with your savings now that you're finished with school? I'm glad the $3,000 I send you each month is helping, but you might want to consider investing some of it now that your expenses will change." The table went silent. I stared at my grandmother, certain I'd misheard her. "What money?" I asked, my voice sounding strange even to my own ears. "Grandma, I never got any money from you." The confusion on her face mirrored my own. "The $3,000 I've been sending to your parents each month for your education, ever since you started college." I felt like I'd been doused with ice water. My mind raced, calculating quickly. $3,000 a month for 4 years. That was $144,000. I never saw any of that money. I repeated, looking around the table. "Mom, Dad, what is Grandma talking about?" Everyone slowly turned to look at my parents. The color had drained from both their faces. Mom's hand froze with her wine glass halfway to her mouth. Dad suddenly became intensely interested in rearranging his silverware. "There must be some confusion," Dad said with a forced laugh. Grandma Eleanor set her plate down carefully. Her eyes narrowed as she looked between my parents. "Robert," she said, her voice dangerously quiet. "I've been sending $3,000 every month to your joint account for Madison's education. That's $36,000 in a year for 4 years. Are you telling me Madison never received this money?" Tyler's head snapped up from his phone, suddenly interested. "Wait, what?" he asked. Aunt Jessica's expression changed from surprise to something like vindication, as though a long-held suspicion had finally been confirmed. Uncle Mark sat back in his chair, arms crossed, looking grim. "I don't understand," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "I've been working 3 jobs. I took out loans. I've been eating ramen for dinner 4 nights a week for years." The restaurant around us continued its ambient hum of conversation and clinking glasses, but at our table, time seemed suspended. I felt disoriented, like the floor was tilting beneath me. "Deanna," Grandma prompted when my mother remained silent. "Would you care to explain?" Mom's eyes darted around the table, looking for an escape. Finding none, she attempted a dismissive laugh that came out more like a nervous hiccup. "Mother, you know how expensive college is nowadays. That money helped with Madison's tuition and living expenses, just as we discussed." But I never saw any of it," I repeated, louder this time. Several diners at nearby tables glanced over. "You told me you couldn't afford to help much with tuition. You made me take out loans." Dad cleared his throat. "Madison, this is hardly the time or place." "I think it's exactly the time and place," Grandma interrupted, her normally gentle voice hardening. "I sent that money specifically for Madison. I confirmed with you multiple times that she was receiving it." She did receive it," Mom insisted. "Through us, we paid her tuition bills." "Only part of them," I said, memories floating back. "I had to take out loans for the rest. A $45,000 worth of loans." Tyler looked between us all, confused. "But you guys give me an allowance every month for expenses." Another bomb dropped. I turned to my brother. What allowance? The 1,000 you guys deposit in my account, he said slowly, realization dawning on his face. Don't you get the same? I felt like I might be sick right there at the table.